Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine and I love all things Disney. If you love Disney too, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button and the bell icon because it notifies you as to when I upload new videos. So today I'm going to be talking about something that is near and dear to me because I am the queen of budgeting. I am cheap. I don't like to spend a lot of money. So I want to tell you guys how to save some money at Disney World. Now Disney World is expensive. So these are just some ways we can save a little bit of money so our pocketbook doesn't hurt so much. Now, I'm going to be looking down a little bit because I do have a list here and I don't want to forget anything, and it's just how I keep myself in track, because if you haven't watched my videos before, you will know now that I have slight ADD and I kind of go all over the place, so I like to keep myself centered with a list, and that's what I have written down here. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is tickets. When you are booking your vacation, I want you to consider whether you need a park hopper ticket or not. Now, a park hopper ticket usually adds anywhere from $70 to $100 per person per ticket per day. So it's very expensive, and I personally do not recommend them actually, because I think that you can overextend yourself and make yourself very, very tired and not really enjoy your vacation, because even though you're in Disney World, after all, it is still a vacation and you want to enjoy yourself and you don't want to run yourself ragged. So I don't normally recommend park hopper tickets. When I talk to people, I usually say, hey, pick a park, enjoy that park, go on the rides, eat the food, just take your time, relax, and don't stress so much, because transportation from one park to another takes about an hour at minimum. So you're cutting an hour out of your day, you're running all around, it's hot. No, we just want to enjoy ourselves. So I say, consider it. Consider what your vacation looks like, how many days you're there, and maybe you don't need a park hopper addition onto your ticket, especially if you're talking about like a family of 4 and you're going for 7 or 8 days or 5 days even, and that's expensive. Like that is, ooh, that can add it up. So just consider that. See what the difference in cost is and see if that's worth it for you and your family. The next thing is, do you want to stay on property or off property? Now, this really is dependent on the time of year, the experience you want, and like what amenities you want additionally. So when you stay off property, you do not have access to the Disney dining plan. Unfortunately, as of when I'm filming this, it is June of 2020, and the dining plan right now is not accessible due to the fact that we went through COVID. So that doesn't really matter right now. But if you're watching this later on, it might matter. So you might want to consider that. And then when you stay off property, you need to find some form of transportation to the parks. So there is the added expense of that. And then the experience in general. If you want to be totally immersed in Disney 110%, I recommend staying on property. But if you want to do other things in the Orlando area, or the immersion doesn't matter so much to you and you're just going to enjoy the parks and you're taking your kids and it's a family vacation and you want to stay in a little cute, like they have a ton of like Airbnbs and motels and restaurants, motels and hotels, things like that, off property that are really amazing. You can do that too. I recommend either way. Usually when I go down, I do stay off property. I did stay on property last time I went down, but that was because it was my kids' very first time staying or going to Disney World at all, and I really wanted to give them the full experience, and I did. And I do not regret it. It was definitely more expensive than it would have been had I stayed off property, but you know, it just is what it is. You have to weigh what is worth it to you and what isn't. My kids had a blast, so I do not regret a penny I spent on that vacation. The next thing to consider is Disney's food is quite pricey. It's like $14 for a cheeseburger. So you can bring your own snacks and water and lunches into the parks. Now, one of the best benefits to staying on property, I think you can do this on off-property resorts as well, but is you can order groceries and have them delivered to you at the resort. You do have to meet the person in the main lobby of whatever resort you're staying at, but it can save you loads of money. I personally recommend Amazon Prime. And this is not affiliated, like not at all. I don't have a link below, anything like that. But you can use Amazon Prime delivery and select groceries like granola bars and bread and cereal and things like that, and just have them delivered to your room. It saves a ton of money. So I would not recommend doing this if you were on a dining plan though, because you already get so much food with a dining plan. Use your dining plan. But if you are trying to save some money, you're not on a dining plan, your kids like to snack throughout the day, things like that, I 100% would recommend getting some groceries delivered. It saves you quite a bit of money, and the delivery fees are really not that expensive considering what you're paying for food on property. Now, don't do this for all your food, please, because you're going to miss out on a wonderful experience of eating at Disney and the food that you can get there. But it really works well for snacks, drinks, a quick lunch even, and then you just make sure you eat like one meal a day. It also cuts way down on your general food costs. So I fully recommend it to people who are looking to save a little bit of money. The next thing to consider while you're in Disney is the free activities. Most resorts offer them if you go to the front desk or in the lobby. Sometimes they'll just have them set up, but they often have free activities for kids to do. And they also have like just something to do that's not at the park. So you can do a non-park day and not buy park tickets. So you can go to the pool. You can, if you're renting a car, take a drive, go to the beach, do other Orlando activities. The beach is about like an hour and a half away from Disney. But if you live out where I live right now, I grew up by the water. I grew up in Connecticut. I moved to California. I've lived in Maine. I've lived all over the place. And I've pretty much lived by the water until I moved to Kentucky. And I would drive an hour and a half now to go to the beach, whereas before I would have thought that was absurd because I lived by the water. But like, if you love the beach, it's not that far away. There's so many activities to do in Orlando. There's so many that you can take your kids to do. There's way more besides Disney, and it's a lot less expensive than Disney. So if you're wanting to go do something, there's many activities in Orlando to try. If you just want a chill day, you can go to the resort, you can go to the pool, put on a Disney movie in your hotel, eat lunch with your kids. Like, just try to plan a non-park day, and that'll save you a full day's worth of tickets for you and your whole family. And you still get to enjoy your vacation. It gives you a little bit of break from the go of Disney, and you save a little money. And you don't lose out on the quality of your vacation. So that is an idea. The next thing is something I definitely did for my vacation is I pre-purchased souvenirs and t-shirts for my kids. So this saves a ton of money. Like, kids t-shirts in Disney are like $18 to $25. No. I'm very lucky where I have a Disney outlet near me. I used to work there. But anyway, I have a Disney outlet near me. And a lot of times they have kids shirts on sale, like 2 for $12. So I'm spending $6 a shirt versus $18 and $25. And my kids loved it. I also bought stuffed animals there. I'm also very lucky that the outlet near me actually gets Disneyland merchandise. So they don't get Disney World. Disney World merchandise, if you did not know this, the excess merchandise is actually only brought to the Disney outlet down in Florida at Disney Springs. At the outlet center in Disney, sorry. Not Disney Springs. Disney Springs has World of Disney. The outlet center has the Disney outlet. And that is the only outlet location that gets Disney World excess merchandise. Disneyland merchandise goes to, I believe it was 3 locations, and the one in Cincinnati, if you are in this area, the Cincinnati Monroe outlets actually does get Disneyland merchandise. If you are ever there, you will see it. It's incredible. But anyway, I digress. I bought my kids souvenirs. So I bought them autograph books. I bought them plushies. I bought them some toys. I bought them t-shirts. And I did it all in advance. And I spent like a quarter of what I would have spent. And what I did was, in the morning, it was really fun. They would go out with their dad, and they would go to like grab lunch. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to run back to the room really quick. And, I forgot something, or I forgot my phone, or whatever. I would just lie. He knew what I was doing. And I would lay out this stuff on the bed, and I had a little note that would be like, hope you're enjoying your day, from Mickey Mouse, or like lots of love, Daisy, things like that. And I would leave it on the bed. And when they would come back from the day at the resort and they would see this, they would think Mickey Mouse like left it for them, and they loved it. And if you leave it, just like, I recommend like making your bed, and then putting it on your bed or putting it on a table. Mousekeeping won't touch it. Like, they know what you're doing, and it's fine. They'll leave it. Or you can leave them a little note like, please don't touch this. Mousekeeping never touched it for me, so it was no big deal. But they loved it, and they were still getting like toys and stuff that they saw all day in the park, and they weren't asking me for them because they had their new toys and they had their new shirt, and they just loved it. Like, we bought them each one thing. one thing while we were down there. My daughter bought these, which when we got back, she's like, you can have them because, you know, she loves me. And my son bought a lightsaber. And that's the only souvenirs I bought when I was down there for my kids. I did buy a couple for myself, but I saved a boatload of money, like a boatload, because you know, when you walk out of every ride, there it is, there for the kids, all the toys. And there was my kids walking around with their brand new stuffed animals, happy as can be. Like, they played with the toys, but they didn't ask for them because they had stuff. And plus, they're just good kids. So anyway, pre-purchasing things like that is a really good thing to consider when you are going on vacation with kids. I'm just going to say this, even though I was going to close this out. There is one more place you can look, and it is the Dollar Tree. They have really cool, like, Disney-themed stuff. I bought them each, like, these little Disney-themed towels for, like, face towels. And it just added extra magic to our vacation without me having to spend a ton of money. And my kids got to feel special. So that is probably one of the biggest things I recommend for parents. The next one is one I've talked about before on this channel. And while you're actually at Disney, please don't ever pay for water. Please don't ever do it. It's like $3 or $4 a water bottle, and it's such a waste of money. If you are very particular about your taste, like the flavor of water, I recommend bringing down a filtered water bottle, and you can ask for water cups, or some places actually have like water dispensers, and some restaurants, like I know Gaston's Tavern does it, sometimes Casey's Corner does it. But you just go up to them and you say, can I have a water cup, please? And they give you a cup of water for free. And you can pour it into your filter water bottle, and you'd be good to go, and you can carry it around the parks. Or you can just bring a regular water bottle like I do. I usually get one from the dollar store for me, one for my my boyfriend, one for my kids. Like, so everyone had their own water bottle, and we just got water cups and filled it up. You do not pay for water. It is such an unnecessary expense. And if you're doing it 3 or 4 times a day, you're spending $20 a day on water. Like, you don't need to do it. If you are, and here's the deal, if you're like crazy particular and like, no, I've tried filtered water, I can't do it, so I just pay for water bottles in the park. Do what I said earlier, and Amazon grocery deliver water to, like, have the grocery service deliver the water to your resort. It's still going to be cheaper than buying it individually, bottle by bottle, at the park. So there we go. That's another recommendation for you. The next is when you're getting ready to buy your tickets or like your resort or anything like that. If you are a Sam's Club or Costco member, I would definitely recommend checking their website or checking their travel agency and seeing what kind of deals and specials they have going on. When I booked my vacation, I think it was last September at this point. Yeah, really, it's last September. My gosh, I need to go back. I checked with Costco, and they actually had some really good deals, but I was unfortunately not a Costco member. I was considering it at the time, not just for the Disney, but because I have a family, and I had considered getting a Costco membership. Anyway, there's the ADD kicking in. But if you are a Sam's Club or Costco member, check with them and see what they have. Sometimes they also even have like party tickets available, like Mickey's Not So Scary or the Christmas party, things like that. So definitely check that out. The next thing, I have 2 more. The next one is to check if you can rent Disney Vacation Club points. So DVC, Disney Vacation Club, is a timeshare program that Disney offers. If you don't know what this is, people buy points per year, just like any other timeshare, and sometimes they don't use them, so they will put them up for rent just to recoup some of that money. And there are 2 ways you can go about it. You can go through Disney itself and rent tickets through them. The other place I would recommend is Dave's DVC Rentals. He's quite reputable. Do not, for the love of God, please do not go on Craigslist and do this. Like, don't do it through a reputable site, because I don't want you to see your money go bye-bye. Like, people will scam you. So this is really a good option if you have a large family, if you want to stay in a more like a higher end room. Most DVC rooms have kitchens and stuff like that, I believe. I haven't stayed in one yet. It will happen someday, I guarantee it. But it's definitely good for large families. I would consider looking into it if you are already spending the expense of bringing this large family down there. You want to consider maybe looking into DVC rental points systems, and you get to stay at some absolutely beautiful resorts. So recommend that 100%. And then the last one I have is Disney's going to try and get you to buy what's called a memory maker. A memory maker is part of their like photo pass system. Essentially, it allows you access to all the photos that Disney cast members take on their cameras. Now, the point there is their cameras. You can walk up to any cast member, as far as I know right now. Corona may change this a little bit, but we'll see how that all plays out. But as of right now, you can walk up to any cast member and hand them your phone, and they will take the same picture that they were going to take on their camera, and you save $130 because that's what a memory maker costs. It's like $130. So now the only catch with this that's different is you do not get the magic shots. Those are the shots where a cast member will tell you, oh, look surprising, you go like this, and there's Tinkerbell in your hand. So you just don't get those, but you still can get the great family photos, and you have free access to them. You got to ask yourself, is $130 worth it for a magic photo? So I definitely would recommend that. So those are my tips for saving money at Disney. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to reach out to me directly and have a private conversation in regards to your Disney vacation and planning, please reach out to me on Instagram. I have no problems helping anybody out or answering any question, no matter how foolish you may think it is. I love helping people, so please just reach out to me directly and I will give you, as always, my opinion. It is not set in stone. You do not have to follow it, but I will give you my opinion and advice as to what I can do to help you. You know, I used to be a cast member, so I have quite a bit of knowledge on this subject, and I love helping people out. So yeah, that's it, really. Thank you for sticking around if you've lasted this long. And as always, I will see you guys real soon.